Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Altered Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
What's up? It's good to see that you're alive again, good sir.
Well, thank you, Zealeus. I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific commenter himself, Zealeus.
Indeed, there's no place I'd rather not be on a Thursday night.
Ha-ha.
Wait, no, I said that wrong.
Ouch.
I'm sorry, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, you, the amazing viewers that you are, this show is for you, by you. We take your comments, topics, questions, and try our best to cover them with you during our weekly show. Now, of course, if you have not had a chance to submit your topic or question, of course, all you need to do is drop it in the chat, and we'll try our best to cover it during this show, or we'll cover it next show.
Do the chat, man.
Yeah. All right. So, as many of you probably noticed, there was no Thursday Night Hangout last week, and the reason behind this was all me.
No, not you.
You see, for some reason, Mother Nature decided to lay her wrath upon me, and I was sick from Wednesday through the end of Friday.
What did you do to Mother Nature?
I don't know, but she kicked me in the nuts. And thankfully, there was no COVID, but have no fear. I'm back to where I need to be to give you the best of the best.
He's alive!
I'm alive! All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into it. We're going to start off with something that I found I find very, very sad, and I know that I'm not alone in this, and that is the tragic passing of Grant Imahara, one of the guys on the Mythbusters, and then on Netflix White Rabbit project. He suddenly passed away with a brain aneurysm, which is just crazy. Zealeus and I both had a very good friend who also passed away because of a brain aneurysm, so we feel the pain.
Yeah, it sucks. He was involved in the first community, so my robotics league. He actually helped mentor some teams and involved in that.
I know.
So he's done a lot of those kind of tinkering, nerdy type of things just all around. Mm-hmm. And he's one of those people who you always hear positive, good things about.
Yep.
Which I think is pretty cool.
So let's see here. He was an electric engineer and of course roboticist. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's a mouthful.
It's a word, man.
He basically was with Mythbusters from the third season all the way until 2014. So that's a shit ton of time. And of course, one of the co-hosts, Adam Savage, tweeted out, "I'm at a loss. No words. I've been part of two big families with Grant over the last 22 years. Grant was a truly brilliant engineer, artist, and performer, but also just such a generous, easygoing, and gentle person. Working with Grant was so much fun. I'll miss my friend."
That's sad, man.
It is very sad. Moment of silence for that guy. I loved his stuff. He definitely had an amazing personality, and of course, he was willing to help anyone and everyone if they had a question, and he could answer it.
Indeed.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into a little bit of TV news that has come out this week. The first part is Netflix has announced yet another new series.
How many new series can they do in a new series?
I believe they're now saying "Hold My Beer."
Yes.
So basically, the latest series that they're going to take on is okay, it gets a little complicated. So there is a 35-year-old comic book series called Usagi Yojimbo.
Never heard of it.
Which is basically this badass rabbit samurai named Miyamoto Usagi.
What kind of rabbit?
Badass.
Okay.
Samurai rabbit.
Ooh, that sounds pretty hot.
So it's a great comic book series. I've read through a good chunk of it. I loved it. But here's the catch. Okay, so the way that they phrased it, they said it's set in the world of the iconic Usagi Yojimbo comic books. What's going to happen is that this series will actually take place in the far future and follow a teenage rabbit samurai named Yuchi, who is a descendant of Miyamoto Usagi. And basically, the show will be centered around his epic quest to become a true samurai. And
sorry, go on.
Keep going.
I was going to say, so where on your scale of desire to watch in life does the premise of the show rank for you?
I think it's going to be one of those things where it has my interest peaked, but I probably have to stumble upon it on Netflix. During one of those times where I'm searching for shows. I'm probably not going to search, I'm not going to seek it out, but I think that it's probably one of those shows that if I see it, I'll be like, oh yeah, and I'll definitely take it for a spin or immediately put it on my list.
Because it sounds like you have a hard on for this show, and it's something that you would want to watch.
No, it's. I mean, I'm all for animated ninja samurai stuff. So this is definitely up my alley. But much like Miyamoto Usagi, who has basically a random band of characters that come in and out of his life to help him, defeat the evil and stuff. Uichi will also have a ragtag team of misfit heroes. I see a roguish bounty hunter, a cunning ninja, an acrobatic pickpocket, and a faithful pet lizard.
It does sound like quite the entertaining cast of characters, I have to say.
So the interesting thing, and the thing I kind of worry about is there is a little bit of humor in there, but there is some like heavy shit that's also going on. So I'll be very interested to see where it falls on the scale, because
like too serious or too jokey, or do they not take it seriously enough, but do they not have enough flavor added to it, that kind of thing. Because usually if I see a show with rabbits, I'm going to assume it's more on the jokey side. Is just my gut thought.
Well, I think
I could always be wrong.
If you were to see the way that all the characters are drawn, you'd know that it's literally like if you were to put like a badass samurai, but as an animal. It's there's no goofy cartooniness to it.
Fair enough.
So that's the first bit of TV news. Now, the other bit of TV news is the ever-present and ever-controversial book called Watchmen. Oh. So, we had the movie come out, and then, of course, we had the series that basically just went, I think it was one season, and they're like, all right, deuces, we're out. But here's the thing.
Neither of which I saw.
I saw the first couple of episodes of the TV show, and I own the Ultimate Edition of the movie. Now, I will say this. I think the movie's been out long enough that I'm not doing too much of a spoiler.
Just go for it.
Well, basically...
Warning, spoiler alert potential.
Yeah, spoiler alert potential, sort of. I don't know. Actually, I wasn't going to give away too much. The thing is, what I liked about the Watchmen movie was that it kept pretty close to the source material when it came to the graphic novel, even though the graphic novel was released in 1986. So, I mean, yeah, they did have to update a couple things, but overall, they basically kept the storyline around the characters pretty close, which, of course, some people are like, oh, it's so terrible.
So, sidebar, I don't really look at from a spoiler perspective describing whether or not a change of a medium, like go from book to movie to book, whatever it is, just a generic description of saying, like, basically, as you did, it follows the original storyline or deviates, because you're not specific in how it deviates.
No.
Generically, I don't think that's a spoiler alert.
No, what the next part is the spoiler alert.
Oh, well, okay, then continue, sir.
So basically, what's going to happen is there's going to be a TV show.
Different than the TV show that's already TV'd.
Correct. Well, this TV show is going to be based around one of the characters, Rorschach.
Oh, interesting.
Now, here's the spoiler. Rorschach, right before the end of his life and basically the life of lots and lots of people, he was kind of the sadistic, twisted dude. And he had written down a shit ton of stuff in a journal, and he had actually mailed it to a newspaper before he went on his final mission, which ended up being his death. So basically, what this show is going to be about is it's been 35 years since Ozymandias was exposed for dropping a giant telepathic squid on New York City, killing thousands and ending the public's trust in heroes once and for all. The Minutemen are gone. Only their memory lives on, especially the infamy of Rorschach, who has become a cultural icon since Dr. Manhattan turned him to dust. So Rorschach, he's a racist. He is always wanting to pick a fight. I have to say, out of all the characters in the movie, the guy who played Rorschach, which I can't remember his name off the top of my head, I'm going to have to Google it real quick, spot freaking on. I mean, he lived and breathed Rorschach. It was damn good. So let me see.
I read the graphic novels, but never watched any of the movies or TV shows.
Well, basically, the TV show is something different, man. I don't know how to go about it because it definitely takes a different angle. It's more in the universe and less on the oh shit, that's the TV show. Damn it. We were just talking about the TV show, and I hit the TV show instead of the
subliminal messages, man. That's how they work.
There we go. The name of the actor who played Rorschach was Jackie Earle Haley, who was amazing as Rorschach. Just have to say. So anyway, I'm very interested to see where they'll take this, because it's still going to be set into superheroes. Very few superheroes are actually infallible, if any are. It's their universe is basically a little bit closer to, if you've ever seen The Boys on Amazon, or if you've read the graphic novels, where superheroes are not all that they're meant to be.
Yeah, I was about to say, The Boys had some characters who I thought were just perfect. I mean, like, take Homelander. He's the epitome of awesomeness, right?
Yeah.
I actually did watch, I binged on that, I think it was 2 weekends ago, and holy crap, in a good way.
No.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I have not. Damn it, I did again. I didn't feel like I hit your thing, but whatever. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. If Zealeus disappeared or has been frozen for a bit, I thoroughly apologize. Hold on, I'll try to clear this up real quick. I really hate the fact that it grabs it for some reason. Oh, wait, I know exactly what I did. Never mind.
I'm back. Yay.
It was just when I looked up the Watchmen. That's when you froze.
Yes.
Because I decided to touch a Chrome page.
Oh, silly Chrome.
And that jacks with the damn feed for some reason. Anyways, so I'll be very interested to see. I have not watched all of The Boys, but I have run a ton of the graphic novel, and I really want to see. There's a character in the graphic novel called the Love Sausage, and I would love to see how he's portrayed in the show.
Any idea what season that would be?
I don't know.
Like,
it's when
is
they go
that
to
later
Russia.
on? What's
they
that?
go to Russia.
Okay. So, yeah, so it's probably later on.
Yeah.
I know season 2, it's like they're bringing in a social media hero or something.
Oh, boy.
Or something along those lines. So, no, it's definitely kind of that, any kind of show like that where it also really centers kind of like an anti-hero also, but also done well. And some of the scenes are so like, they make you uncomfortable in your, at least me in my own skin, but in a very intentional way.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, you were like, oh my gosh. But then some of the things are like, oh yeah, that's exactly what happens in real life. We just don't actually experience it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh yeah. It's a great TV show. Well, great. I don't know if great is exactly the right word, but I found it entertaining.
It's memorable.
Yes, that's a good word.
So anyways, so Rorschach, I think that, I don't know if they're actually calling it Rorschach. Yeah, no, they're calling it Rorschach. It's a new 12-issue story set 35 years after Dr. Manhattan.
I'm just going to call it Rorschach Test?
No, just going to call it Rorschach.
What streaming service? I didn't see that.
See, that's the thing, though. It's very confusing because it says on, hold on, let me make sure this is a show, because I'm looking through the news and it's, it's like 50-50 show or just a new comic line. Let me see here. Let me double check here real quick. Let me get my shit together. Aha!
Uh-huh.
It is not a TV show, ladies and gentlemen. I thoroughly apologize. It is going to be a 12-issue comic book series.
Ah, that's a little bit different.
Yes, it is. But
Which
at the
means
same
I'd have to
time,
read words.
oh, forgot. There's lots of pictures, Zealeus. You'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
But, in all honesty, I'd still need to check it out. I'd be very interested. Who's the writer? Because I'm pretty sure that Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons are not going to be part of this. Alan Moore is a kooky man, by the way. Just in case you...
Well, I mean, he's also written some very memorable things over the years.
Doesn't he worship a snake god? I think.
Well, who knows?
Anyways, so my apologies. It is a comic book series, but still, in this day and age, if it's a comic book, there's a very good chance that it will become a TV show or a miniseries or something.
I'm kind of curious, like, what is he writing nowadays?
Who, Alan Moore?
Yeah.
The Devil's Whisper. That's not true. I don't know what it is, but that really sounds like an Alan Moore book. So
he has a super long bibliography. Good gosh.
Yeah, no, it's
like it goes on and on and on.
He's worked with like every single comic book publisher out there, because either he pisses them off or they piss him off enough that he leaves, and then sometimes he comes back, sometimes he doesn't. But anyways, we shall see what we shall see. All right, so we brought it's a little bit tricky about this next topic because it happened 2 weeks ago and we were off last week because of my illnesses. But we talked a little bit about the out of left field ban of a very big Twitch streamer by the name of Dr. Disrespect. On June 26th, he was removed without warning from Twitch, and soon after, his paid subscribers received notifications they would be refunded. He had an audience of more than 4 million followers on the live stream platform, and let's see here. We're in July, so March, that would have put, 3 months ago? Ish? 3-4 months ago?
Really? Wow.
Yep. He had... 3 or 4 months ago, he had signed an 8-figure contract to stream exclusively for Twitch.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, within 2 months, he's removed completely. Now, to this date, Twitch still has not provided any reason for the separation. Of course, this has allowed for crazy speculation and conjecture. Basically... now that, you would think that the dust is settled, you have a lot of news media trying to get at him. So he is, he's willing to talk a little bit, but his response, and this is, the same with anybody, if you're in this position, is he's following the advice from his legal counsel and he will remain silent.
Yeah, one of the rumors is he actually, because at one time he said he doesn't know why, but then the speculation is he actually knows why, but he obviously can't say anything because his lawyers are like, shut the hell up.
Well, because no one's saying anything, of course, there's conspiracy theories about him working on some brand new streaming platform or some...
with the Mixer guys.
Yeah, all kinds of craziness. But... Dr. Respect did say he's been dealing with a lot of stress and anxiety. He and his wife, this is their livelihood, and they've worked really hard to this point. And basically, they've been running the gambit of the emotional gauntlet. Now, he has said, or he still maintains, he does not know why Twitch effectively voided his contract just a few months into signing the 2-year exclusivity arrangement.
It is kind of fascinating way where, you think about other jobs, you can kind of get a job elsewhere, right? Like, let's just say hypothetically, I was fired tomorrow from my school. Well, there's thousands of other schools I can get a job out. Not ideal, obviously, but figure something out.
Right.
Whereas if you're basically banned from Twitch, it's kind of like, what do you do?
Mixer? Oh. No, okay.
Exactly.
So going along in that exact mindset, he said, honestly, we don't know what's going on. It was a total shock. Imagine showing up to work and the doors are closed and you can't get inside. You're going, what's going on? And you've been told you've been fired, but you haven't been told the reason why. We just weren't given any answers. It was the worst feeling.
And again, this is where the speculation comes, is because immediately before that, he had that really weird live stream where he acted like really strange in reading something on his phone. So again, that's where the speculation is in fact he knows, but just can't say anything.
Well, actually, some sources are saying that the way he was acting during that stream was he started seeing some of his features and abilities being removed midstream.
So basically at this point, it's all speculation. Really, the only people who know are Dr. Disrespect and Twitch, certain people at Twitch.
Amazon.
Well,
Amazon owns Twitch. Anyways, so basically, as of right now, the rumor is he's considering his options, which could include other platforms like YouTube, gaming, and Facebook gaming. He is not, here's the big shock, he is not interested in signing an exclusive deal. And he is still considering potentially streaming independently on his website, where it would just be Dr. Disrespect 24/7.
Well, if he also still has his sponsors,
which is like Gillette, Mountain Dew, some food thing. I mean, I'm sure the whole PepsiCo is on him.
Well, I would, if I'm a sponsor, I'm also a little bit leery in a little bit, because you worry like eventually the reason's going to come out. If it turns out he's like a child murderer or something, then you don't want to be like on the wrong side. Be like, well, so I never sponsored him after the fact.
Yeah. Well, let's face it. We are a reactive society, not a proactive. So
fair enough.
Until the bodies are dragged out. Sorry for the graphic imagery, but seriously, until the bodies are dragged out, if you've got a winner that's going to get you a shit ton of money, you're going to ride with them. Anyways.
I mean, look at the NFL and the highest paid defensive player in the NFL.
That is this
suspended half the season, and he's the highest paid defensive player.
I know. And so they're like, so at that, if you were to break down his contract, and then divide it by the amount of money he was fined for smacking the quarterback in the head with his helmet, he could do it, I think it's like 27,000 times and still have some money to go.
That's a meme waiting to happen. Over and over. You see like the dollar signs like fly out as he hits him over the head.
Well, hey,
sounds like an old 4chan thing that would have happened back in the day.
Yeah. But anyways, so going back to Dr. Disrespect, so this is where he basically left everything at. In the 4 years that I've streamed on Twitch, I think I took like maybe one vacation. Obviously, you want to be able to take a vacation on good terms and knowing that you can come back. Mm-hmm. These are different terms, but at the same time, it's good for the mind to get away from the tech and social media.
I mean, obviously some people take umbrage at calling it work, but I would consider it work. And for the most part, the streamers who make the big bucks, they are working ridiculous hours.
Well, Ninja's on all the time unless he's asleep.
Well, that's what it takes, because if you're not on 24/7, basically, then people start to bitch like, you're not on enough. Even though I guess 18 hours a day isn't enough. And then they go to some other streamer who's willing to do 19 hours.
Well, it also
it's pretty crazy.
Well, I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, the more you're streaming, the better chance you are to have someone stumble across you. And so when you and it kind of snowballs. You start streaming the 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a day, and I think Ninja does 16, right? 14 to 16 hours.
That's a lot of hours.
And people keep coming back because it's consistent, and they tell their friends, and they're like, man, this guy, it's not only is he streaming all the time, but he's really good at Fortnite. And then it just, basically continues from there.
I know money changes everything, but I just don't. I'm pretty sure I would actually lose any semblance of sanity trying to stream video games that much every day. Like, it's just, that's a lot of gaming to play.
Honestly, I kind of see where you're coming from, but at the same time, I think that as long as I could game and have a conversation, because if literally it was just you're watching a stream of me and I can't interact with you and I'm just playing the whole time, I think I would go absolutely insane. I have to have, because the thing is, yes, I'll get in the zone, I'll start gaming, but if I can game at the same time, have an interesting conversation to kind of, break things up, I think that would allow me to get a little. Now, I'm not saying that I could put in 16 hours every single day, but I'm saying that I could do longer streams as long as I have an audience. If I'm doing it by myself, no. No. Like 4 hours, I'll be like, I'm done. Okay. So we went from legal battle to let's go to another legal battle.
How many legal battles are there, sir?
Oh, how much time do you have?
Is like the battle of the lawyer in the latest video game?
Close.
Okay.
Right. So there is a large company out there that many of you might have heard of. It's called Ubisoft. Ubisoft has announced departures and reaffirms its commitment to implementing significant change in its workplace culture. The press release was done on July 12th, and basically they announced several significant personnel changes that are a part of the comprehensive work in the company is doing to improve and strengthen its workplace culture. These departures come following the initiation of a rigorous review that the company initiated in response to recent allegations and accusations of misconduct and inappropriate behavior. So, here are some of the people and their positions that have now left Ubisoft. I am not going to try to pronounce that guy's name, Serge Hasciat.
Sure.
He was the chief creative officer for Ubisoft, but he has resigned immediately. His role will be taken on by the CEO and co-founder of Ubisoft in the interim, and he will be personally overseeing a complete overhaul of the way in which the creative teams collaborate. Yannis Mallat, the managing director of Ubisoft's Canadian studios, has left immediately. The global head of HR, Cecile Cornette, has been removed, and they're going to search for a replacement. But while they're doing that, the company is also restructuring and strengthening its HR function in order to adapt it to the new challenges of the video game industry. They have their statement to the public is Ubisoft has fallen short in its obligation to guarantee a safe and inclusive workplace environment for its employees. This is unacceptable as toxic behaviors are in direct contrast to values on which I have never compromised. This is the CEO, by the way, and never will. I am committed to implementing profound changes across the company to improve and strengthen our workplace culture. Moving forward, as we collectively embark on a path leading to a better Ubisoft, it is my expectation that leaders across the company manage their teams with the utmost respect. I also expect them to work to drive the change we need, always thinking of what is best for Ubisoft and all its employees.
And how exactly do these changes promote any of that?
Let's see here. I think one was seen as a sexist. I think one was an abuser, and the last one covered it up. So
no, I mean, I think if Ubisoft really meant that, they would have said that. They would have come out and just been like, "Booyah! This is what happened. This is why we were letting them go."
Oh no. There's a little bit more detail. I kind of snipped out some pieces because I didn't want to have to read the entire thing. But I mean, the names that I went down. I just trying to give you the top level. I mean, how high these people were that are getting removed. It's not like, quality tester number 15. We're going to remove him and everything's going to be fine. We're talking about the chief creative officer, the managing director of the Ubisoft Canadian studios, and then the global head of HR. The HR thing by itself is huge. One, because that unfortunately is where shit gets hidden or gets discounted. But the other thing is, and this of course is difficult, is the fact that it was a woman.
Yeah, I did notice that, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, so we'll see. But on a different note, do you want to talk about something that's fun that Ubisoft is doing?
Wait, Ubisoft does fun things in video games?
Yeah, they actually release games that aren't broken like Assassin's Creed Unity.
But now it's a hidden gem, dude. Didn't you know?
No. So Ubisoft has released and has now gone into open beta a game called Hyperscape.
Hyperscape? Is that where you escape from the hyper-realism of this dreaded world?
It's actually... so it's guess what? It's a brand new battle royale!
Oh, FFS.
But...
of course it is.
The interesting thing about this is
there's cats?
No. Now, they have a shit ton of... And this is kind of showing you where their allegiances lie. They have a lot of Twitch integration into the game.
What was that? Let me guess. It's free to play with $100 skin microtransactions like Valorant.
I don't know about the mini transactions, but basically what they were looking for was they wanted a game. Let's see, how do I explain this? What they were most of the people watching streamers want to play. God dang it! Hold on. We looked at what we were doing as players, and we realized that we were almost watching streamers as much as we were playing games. So one of the starting points was really how do we create this notion of a game as a spectacle where players, streamers, and viewers can come together. We watched a game that was the most spectacular game possible with a very high pace, a lot of action. It made a lot of sense to unite 100 players in one battle to make it the most spectacular possible.
Are we still talking about PUBG or a different game? I'm really confused.
No, we're talking about Hyperscape, man.
I've got my battle royales mixed up.
It made a lot of let's see, blah, blah, blah. Now, of course, they're like, well, we're going to differentiate our battle royale from everything else.
Of course.
They didn't want players that have been eliminated just sit watching a camera, which, of course, a lot of the battle royales, once you're out, you're out. They kick you to the curb, which, okay, fine. But if you're playing as a team, as a squad, there is the potential of being able to respawn into the game. There's like a caveat to it, but there's the chance of being respawned into the game. Also, when you're dead, you're kind of like a ghost, so you can kind of echo the position of the enemy that's I think that killed you, or maybe that's on the map, so you can help you can still help your team. And if your team, I think, kills the enemy, then a respawn point comes up and you could rejoin the game, something like that. Interesting.
Reminds me, do you remember? So we used to play dodgeball.
Mm-hmm.
We had certain rules where if you got out, you'd actually go on the opposite side and go like around the perimeter and be able to peg players.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me a little bit of that. Although that had to be banned because people started getting like blindsided.
What? That's not allowed?
I know, man.
So basically what they wanted to do, like I said, they allowed for respawning, but not in a conventional sense. It's going to be where if one of your team members kills someone, that's where the spot's going to be. So it's not going to be like a locked in place. Now, What they decided to do is they put it in an urban environment, which I hate that terminology, but basically you're going to be playing like in a futuristic downtown area. So you're not going to be out in the woods or out on the plains or on a uninhabited island full of shit and stuff. They're going to put you in like the middle of a city, and of course, just like any of the other games, as time progresses, as more people die, the city's going to get smaller, and you're going to see basically the city kind of like crumble away into. It kind of looks like there's like a virus that's just chewing away bits of the game. And so if you're in that area, you start taking damage until, of course, you're dead or you get out of that. Now, one of the big decisions they decided, and once again, I love buzzwords. I don't, but I do, but I don't. They said basically the first decision they made after they start the game was also to put it in an urban environment, right? So that's a big game changer. It changes the pace, whatever. The reason behind that was not only to have a very different look, but also a very different pace with more intense cat and mouse action.
How intense?
Like
super intense? Like,
all right, so in
level
Fortnite,
10?
I suck at Fortnite, but you could build like random structures and you could have your little cat and mouse battles of running around shit. So
yes.
I don't understand that one. But what they said is as soon as they started thinking about it, they wanted the game to feel very different. And so they went with verticality. We don't want full damage. We need ways to go up the rooftops, etc. And so it was interesting to start to explore special abilities that you could customize your layout or loadout with in order to address navigational needs, survivability, or offense. So for us, the goal was to, on one hand, have every aspect of the shooter, but also add some more creative tools for the players so that they could express themselves, not only through shooting, but also through creative means. Now, you basically choose I think there's like 8 different generic faces or maybe 10 generic faces / body types. Okay, there's like 5 guys, 5 girls, and you select them, and then your character is based off of your loadout. You start off the game with a melee weapon, which I believe is a bat, and then you're looking for guns. Guns?
What do you do with these guns?
You can have 2 weapons plus your bat. So you could have like a handgun and a sniper rifle, or you could have a bazooka and a sniper rifle, whatever. And the interesting thing about this is that, you don't have a predetermined loadout. Like, oh, I'm playing as a sniper. You could play how you want to, but they also have these things called hacks. Which are basically like skills. Where, like they're saying, we wanted to change it up for the navigational needs, the survivability, the offense. There are certain things that allow you to do like super jumps. There are things that allow you to go invisible for a short amount of time. There's things that allow you to just make a wall appear.
Balls are cool.
I think spin into a ball to roll away, and some other stuff, like help healing and whatnot. So the interesting thing is the hacks and the weapons, they have, it's not one and done. If you find, like, let's say you found the sniper rifle, and then you find another sniper rifle, you fuse your gun to the sniper rifle you found, and now it like upgrades the damage or upgrades the accuracy or something like that. So you can upgrade, I think, a total of 5 times before it hits like max whatever. And you can do that with all of your hacks as well. Now, that being said, one of the very interesting things that I saw is...
So did you actually watch gameplay?
No, I played it.
That's
why I know a lot of the ins and outs.
I was going to say, yes, you have a very descriptive knowledge of the game.
So, I mean, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I just played around the tutorial. I didn't really get into the actual gameplay simply because I did not have a truly working spacebar.
Wait, you don't have a working spacebar? Oh, that's right. Your keyboard has a spacebar issue.
So it's like I could jump, or I might not jump, or maybe I'll double jump when I don't want to. But so the interesting thing about this is that they wanted to have. What was the? Basically, the viewers could, with the Twitch integration, the viewers could help put in like a random voted upon effect into the world, which apparently the very interesting one is low gravity.
That could actually be cool. You know what that reminds me of? SimCity with like disasters.
Yeah.
Like if you sit in there and all of a sudden just like an earthquake and fires and mayhem.
Yeah, so you have that, but also an interesting thing is I think it's within when you're in the last 10, there are now two ways to win the game. It's called, what the hell is it called? It is called.
Is there a cultural victory? You get the most votes from Twitch.
It's called Capture the Crown. So basically, be the last man standing, or it's basically what the hell is the damn gameplay where you have to
capture the flag?
No, you've got to King of the Hill. You have to.
Oh yeah.
Or the briefcase or whatever. You have to hold on to something for X amount of time.
Interesting.
If you hold on to the crown for 45 seconds, you win. Or if you're the last one standing, you win. It's called Capture the Crown.
What if you have both?
Well, if it's been almost 45 seconds and you killed everyone, then you win.
You're the double victor? Like you get extra bonus
you only
points?
Get a single victory. Sorry, my friend.
I think you should get double the win.
I'm
just saying.
Sorry, Zealeus. I'm really sorry. I'm not, but I am, but I'm not.
I want to play now, man.
Yeah. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I do want to take a quick second to do a couple shout-outs for you, and then we'll continue with the rest of the stories. But let us give thanks and attention to some of these amazing people out there. The first thing I want to talk about is the Indie Cluster. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts to challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves.
Very cool.
The next one I want to give a shout out to, of course, is Hero Chiropractic. Hero Chiropractic is a unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore, the company's focus to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone can be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They're committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible, and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. Which, by the way, Hero Chiropractor has been my chiropractor for over 3 years. So,
and you're still walking and alive because of the greatness of his hands.
Exactly. Now let's give a quick shout out to Nerdburger Games. Nerdburger Games is the game design imprint of award-winning RPG designer Craig Campbell. Craig has done a whole bunch of RPG design freelancing in the past. Several years ago, he dove into designing his own RPG. Now, Nerdburger Games has multiple RPGs and is showing no signs of stopping. Nerdburger Games endeavors to create games that explore corners of the RPG landscape that haven't been explored or haven't been explored very often. These games forego dense gaming mechanics in favor of lighter rule sets that allow players to focus on telling fun, engaging, memorable stories.
Fun!
The three big names that are a part of Nerdburger Games, of course, is the game Capers, Die Laughing, and Merge and Acquisitions, which Zealeus and I have been a part of testing all three of those.
Indeed, they are some good stuff, yo.
Now, this last shout out, I'm happy and I'm sad about this. And that
How
is,
sad.
ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about Battle and Brew. Battle and Brew is Atlanta's first and oldest gaming bar and restaurant. It originally opened up in 2005. Battle and Brew had a very modest menu, a few beer taps, and focused heavily on gaming. Now they have grown to encompass so much more. They pioneered geek trivia in Atlanta and remain the hardest trivia in town. They have upgraded the menu from only a few items to all your bar favorites and some soon-to-be favorites. They've expanded the gaming and kept everything top of the line. They've taken a great place and made it even better. A place where the staff listens to your desires and suggestions. A place where you and your friends feel like you're at home. A place where everyone knows your game. Now,
is that where like everybody knows your name?
Yes, it's a play on. Yes.
Yes.
Now, the reason why I say I'm happy and sad about this is, first of all, Battle and Brew, amazing place. Zealeus and I love the shit out of it. If this COVID crap was not going on, we probably would have been there several times by now. Trivia is absolutely like gut-wrenching hard. You think you know a subject, and they will slap you upside the face with shit that you don't know.
You know nothing, sir.
Now, the reason why I'm sad is that Battle and Brew has closed for now. They had previously reopened and had let a small, a very small amount of people in at a time to, enjoy the actual physical Battle and Brew. Before that, they had a curbside menu. But unfortunately, it was discovered that one of the Battle and Brew employees had contracted COVID-19.
Oh, no.
So they have completely shut it down. They have brought in like state-of-the-art like cleaning equipment. The whole place has been just scrubbed.
Yep.
But until they are 100% certain and feel safe, there will be no food from Battle and Brew. So it's going to be, they'll still do their trivia and they'll still do their stream nights and stuff from remote locations, but there's not going to be a curbside menu, and of course the building's not going to be open.
Well, dang you.
I know. It makes me sad.
Although you can still order food on their website.
You can't anymore. I
am right now.
If you try to go there, it will say currently unavailable if you try to check out.
I didn't want to go that far and like
if you check out, it'll say currently unavailable.
Because I could add I could add your chicken towns to my cart.
No, I want my chicky parm parm with my Little Mac.
Wait, you've changed?
Dude, that's what I've gotten the last couple times was a chicky parm parm with Little Mac, man. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so as you might have noticed, Zealeus and I are kind of fanboys of Battle and Brew. So we hope
good stuff.
We hope that Battle and Brew they are able to recover and kick ass and take names.
I mean, it's tough because part of the conundrum for them is, it's the right thing to do, but at the same time,
financially, it's
14 days of A, expenses, and then B, lost profits. I know there's a place up here in Roswell that we used to like to go to, Tappan 6. Some work people and I would go there, and unfortunately, due to COVID, they've closed down.
Yep.
They just couldn't afford to stay afloat anymore. And it's definitely an unfortunate reality of what's going on in some of these businesses. It costs money.
Now, speaking of COVID, I don't know if Zealeus, are you part of the city of Dunwoody or are you not?
Nope. I'm technically Sandy Springs / Atlanta.
Okay. Because in the city of Dunwoody, we now have a mandate for face masks in public.
Oh, not according to Governor Kemp.
Well, this is the city.
Nope. As the governor, he supersedes all city laws, my sir.
So you're saying the president supersedes all state laws?
Well, actually, according to the Constitution, yes.
He does, but he doesn't, because there's this check and balance. But anyways, we're not going to get into politics here, ladies and gentlemen, because that will get...
Well, no, because you know about the whole pissing match between Bottoms and Kemp right now.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, anywho, on a more personal note, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you a couple things about Altered Confusion. Altered Confusion is an independent video game news review website based here in Atlanta, Georgia. We've been around since 2007. And throughout the entire thing, we've basically been running out of my slightly ever lightning wallet. Now we have a Patreon. Patreon allows you to become the fans to become active participants in what we love to do. And basically what this is it's a monthly membership. I don't like to say membership. Basically it's a monthly donation, or basically you become a patron of it's your patronage. And we've got 2 levels. Oh my gosh. Hold on.
You okay there? I feel like you're losing your mind.
I am losing my mind. Let me try this again. And I'm not going to cut this because that's how I roll. But anyways, so Patreon is, it allows for you, the viewers, the fans, to help support us, Altered Confusion. And by doing so, you could get some exclusive content, some insight to what happens behind the scene in Altered Confusion. And of course, with that, it will, fingers crossed, help us be able to pay some of the bills, as in upkeep for the equipment, paying for the hosting for the podcast, convention fees, all that stuff. And basically, we have 2 different tiers that you can donate to. The first is $1, and of course, you could go above the 2 tiers if you want to. There's a $1 tier and there's a $5 tier. The $1 tier basically, gives we thank you profusely, and we give you access to the Discord voice channel. Excuse me. And then the $5 a month one not only gives you the Discord stuff, but also we put you in the thank you section during our Altered Confusion Thursday Night Hangouts, and I'm going to be expanding the thank you sections into all the streams.
Thank you so much.
So be on the lookout for that. But basically, what we're looking to do here, as much as I would love to say that, in a perfect world, I'd love to be able to get enough money off of Patreon and all that stuff to be able to do Altered Confusion 24/7. But basically, what I'm hoping for is just, if you have the ability to donate any money on a monthly basis, just so we can, cover the podcast hosting, which I think is $16 a month. No, it's $18 for both of them. Plus, the website fees and the hosting fees and the convention fees and the upkeep on like the cameras and the lights and the microphone and all that stuff. So we can give you as much as we can. And
we want to give it all to you.
If I could, I would. But like I said, the 2 donation levels are $1 and $5. If you want to go above and beyond that, by all means, do it. However, tell me that you are, because I want to get you some exclusive shit that you can't get otherwise. Some Altered Confusion exclusive stuff that I can't go into details about. But
this is stuff I don't even get, people. You all should jump on this.
Yeah, exactly. It's Zealeus' phone number. What?
Oh, well, it depends on who the person is.
Exactly. No. It believe me, if you're going to donate more than $5 a month, then I want to give you something more in return than just a thank you in our shows.
A side Mountain Dew.
Maybe. Who knows? But on a slightly different note, ladies and gentlemen, for the 9th year straight, we are raising money for Extra Life. Extra Life, of course, is gamers doing what they do best, and helping the sick and injured children at our chosen Children's Miracle Network Hospital, which, of course, for us, has always been the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. The money that is raised through Extra Life will go directly to the hospital as unrestricted funds, which means that the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars you raise make the biggest impact in the lives of the kids they treat.
You think they know best on how to spend our money, sir?
Yes. Educated individuals in a field of medicine probably know more than I do about medicine.
You mean my 30-minute Google search doesn't actually make me an expert on all things medicine and safety protocols?
You mean my ability to circumnavigate WebMD at the drop of a hat doesn't make me the uber awesome medical expert I think it does?
And then I can dictate other people's lives because I know better?
Yes. We will be once again. This will be our ninth year of me attempting the 24-hour Gameathon, which will be happening at the beginning of November. I want to say it's the 2nd or the 3rd. I feel it's always the 2nd or the 3rd. But I'll be raising money. My level is set at $250. If we surpass $250, I will increase it and then put incentives into place. I will not put incentives to the November 7th, 2020. Thank you, Zealeus. I will not put as crazy incentives as Noodle Boy Media, but I might have some slightly crazy stuff going on as well.
So what you're saying is he loves kids more than you do.
No, he just has more
if you loved them
confidence
as
in
much
himself.
as if you loved these kids as much as you profess to, you would one up him.
I one up him in the money I raise. Okay, but it's not a contest. Okay, so
actually it is.
No, any money raised for a good cause is good money.
Nope, still a contest.
Oh,
and by the way, it is your 9th year.
I know it's my 9th year.
Well, you sounded like you were like guesstimating.
No. I just couldn't remember. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I've done. Well, technically, I've not done 24 hours every single year. There's been a couple of years where I've done 25 because of the fucking time change.
Fair enough.
So anyways, so ladies and gentlemen, one other thing about Altered Confusion is I know that not everyone can do monetary donations on a monthly basis. Some people may want to do a one-time donation, and they can do so through our PayPal portal. If you're watching this on Twitch, all you got to do is go to the navigation window below this video, and you'll find I believe it's a Donate Now button, and it will go straight to our PayPal account.
There's actually now no.
Huh?
It just says donate. There's no now.
Oh, donate. There you go. So donate. And that money, of course, goes to Altered Confusion, and it is money which Altered Confusion will only spend towards Altered Confusion stuff. That doesn't count towards Charlie's Mountain Dew addiction. It does not count towards Zealeus's cat's food or Charlie and Zealeus's beer intake. The money literally is only for strictly Altered Confusion stuff.
So I actually have a confession to make.
Yes, sir.
I have not actually purchased beer for my condo in about 2 months because, I was becoming a COVID-holic.
I have not. My wife bought beer, a 6-pack for me for 4th of July. But before that, I had bought a 24-pack of Yingling and just have been like nursing like one beer every other day. So it's been a month or two. So I
was falling into the other where you'd have to work the next day, but you'd have to come in until 9 or 10. It became really easy to just knock back a few in the evening, more so than needed. Yeah, I was like, this is not a good habit to get into.
No. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, if you want to do a monetary donation, but you only want to do it once, there is the option of doing it through PayPal. Now, if you are not on Twitch, you can go to www.AlteredConfusion.com, or as all the cool kids do, like Zealeus, you go to Google and just type in Altered Confusion. It'll take you to the website. And as of right now, on the left-hand side, you will find a donate button, which, of course, will go to the PayPal portal. Now, there are those out there who decide that they do not want to do a financial donation, but they want to give us something, perhaps a hat, a coffee cup, a t-shirt, some weird-ass Mountain Dew, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in a location where you can get Mountain Dew Livewire, you could send it to me, and I will thank you profusely, because in order for me to get it in Atlanta, it's like $26 for a 12-pack, and that is ridiculous.
Oh, fancy.
Yes. Anyways, so if you want to send something physical, we do have a mailing address which you can use. That, of course, is 1551 Dunwoody. That's DUNWOODY Village Parkway number. And this is super duper important.
How important, though? Is this like really important or just kind of important or not really important?
Duper. There's a number. That is the P.O. Box number. Number 88276. If you do not put that number in there, we will not get it, and you'll receive your package back. I think it's like 5 to 7 business days. So once again, it's 1551 Dunwoody Village Parkway, number 88276. The city is Dunwoody. Once again, Dunwoody. State is Georgia. The zip code is 30338. And
what's the last thing you received in the post office box?
The limited edition Black Cauldron Funko Pop set.
Very nice. Wait, you didn't show it off on the Thursday night show.
Did I not?
I don't think so.
Yeah. It is Taran and the Horned King. It is from the 2019 Summer Convention, Funko Summer Convention.
I have a confession to make. I've never actually seen the Black Cauldron.
I own it. You can come over, we'll watch it. Have you read the Black Cauldron?
I didn't know it was something I could read, sir.
It's written by Lloyd Alexander. It's part of, I think it's 6 books. Almost exclusively, you have to buy each book separately now. They do not make the collection available. Actually, give me 1 second. I'm going to get the collection because it's amazing. 1 second.
You know what I actually kind of have a hankering to read again, though? If you've never read it, is Roger Zelazny's, oh my gosh, The Great Book of Amber. So The Great Book of Amber, basically the first 5 books are the main characters like Young Days, and then there's a second set of 5, but I won't give anything away of what happens. But it's like set into 2 kind of distinctly different eras as far as the characters go. But basically it's a super crazy imaginative world that the author creates, and just highly fascinating that I may have to reread. We shall see. The Great Book of Amber.
Hold on 1 second.
Are you gonna have that also? Nice. And you'll see it's like it's a behemoth volume, but it's so I've already read the whole series twice. The first one I'm actually mad because I lent it to somebody at school back in college, and I never got it back from him.
What?
So I'm like, oh, I don't have the original.
Okay, so the book, the series I was talking about, the Black Cauldron. The Black Cauldron is actually, let me make sure that the Black Cauldron is the Book of 3, the Black Cauldron, the Castle of Lear, Taran the Wanderer, the High King, and the Foundling and Other Tales of Prydain, written by Lloyd Alexander. And if you, in a very rare book, it's called the Prydain Chronicles. It is damn near impossible to find. I had a copy. I lent it out to someone. I don't know who it was, and I never got it back.
I know. Like, I looked online, and it's like, I was surprised how rare it is. I was like, okay.
Yeah. No, it's fucking nuts. And I finally tracked it down, and I bought it immediately. And I, of course, got Eat Shit and Dialogue from my wife when I did it because she was looking for it too. But I beat it to the punch. So
it was supposed to be a gift for you, man.
It is a phenomenal book. It's actually this is my first super duper long book, which of course, to many people, 767 pages nowadays, not all that long, but I read 767 pages when I was in 2nd grade, which was awesome. Now, Zealeus was pointing out another book called The Great Book of Amber by Roger Zelazny. Yeah. And something interesting about this book. First of all, it is the entire thing. It's the Chronicle 1 through 10. The 9 Princes of Amber, the Guns of Avalon, Sign of the Unicorn, the Hand of Oberon, the Courts of Chaos, Trumps of Doom, Blood of Amber, Sign of Chaos, Knight of Shadows, and Prince of Chaos. Now, fortunately or unfortunately, this is one of the very few ways that you can read this series. They do not have it. They do not have the entire thing on ebooks. I believe they only have the the first chronicle or maybe the first two chronicles.
Really?
The whomever owns the rights to this has been very hesitant about putting it in e form.
That's
which
interesting,
makes me
actually.
sad because I really want to read again. But this book, when the hell did this thing come out?
You really want to listen to it.
Well, yeah, I would love to listen. I would be awesome if we could listen to it. But this came out. Let's see, where the hell's the publication date? 1999. So
Really? I thought it was like earlier than that.
Oh, what? No, this when you published the entire collection.
Okay, I gotcha.
No, the first one's like. First one was The Nine Princes of Amber was 1972.
Okay, I was thinking 70s.
Yeah, no. When to get this whole fucking book, that was 99. So
I see.
I don't want to fuck this book up. I want to reread it, but I don't want to fuck the book up. So I'm kind of trapped between rock and a hard place because I loved this series. Extremely love that series. As well as I love the Chronicles of Prydain, but I also, once again, the Prydain Chronicles, but I won't actually read the book because I don't want it to fall apart because I like it that much. However, for some reason, my first ever venture into sci-fi fantasy adventures, I own, I think, 3 different copies of The Legend of Huma.
Yes.
And I will go back and read that, but for some reason, I have to buy a new book every single time. But it's okay. Legend of Huma is an amazing book. I love it. Now, I know we're almost out of time, but there was a couple quick questions that came in. We kind of already talked about one. One of the questions that came in was when you're playing a first-person shooter that, like, such as a Fortnite or Call of Duty or Valorant or Overwatch or something like that. So basically a competitive first-person shooter. Do you like games that have assigned roles or games that allow you to basically build your character type as you go?
If it's a fast action FPS or MOBA type of game, I prefer predefined roles, especially from the multiplayer aspect, because then you know what to expect both from your teammates and from the opposings.
Right.
Now, obviously, some MOBAs, actually most MOBAs for that matter, like there's a variety of skill trees within that.
Right.
So it's not 100% divine, but you at least have some idea of like, okay, they're a mage or a jungler or a melee. So at least you have a concept of what they are. So, yeah, I don't think from a multiplayer PvP aspect that I would enjoy as much if it was just completely wide open versus having that defined at least skeleton to know what I'm getting myself into.
And I agree. I mean, I think that if there's any type of squad, I think that you have to have defined roles. Now, if it's like it's a battle royale, every man for himself, I think that changes it. But at the same time, there are a lot of battle royale games out there that still you select a specific character and they have a subset of skills that can make it very dangerous, and you better not cross them. But being able to build your character on the fly is kind of interesting. But at the same time, if it's really, really fast action, fast paced, personally, I can't keep up with that shit. Tell me what kind of character I am and allow me to have a base gun and maybe my secondary weapon I could switch out or whatever. As I kill things, I upgrade or whatnot. But, I kind of see the appeal, but at the same time, I want to be able to find if everyone's the same, I fear that I will suck worse than if I was assigned a specific role. Because I feel like that I could, well, first of all, if I'm assigned a role, then I'm probably in a group, and my group could potentially carry me, which I'm okay with. I'm a big boy. I'm okay with that.
Okay, something unrelated.
Yes.
Actually related to what we were talking about.
Yes.
All the books for Great Book of Amber are on Audible.
They are on Audible?
Yeah, hell, The Blood of Amber is narrated by Will Wheaton.
Okay, looks like I'm going to be doing a shit ton of Audible after this. Okay, good point. Okay, Now here,
Anyway, so yeah. Like, are there any like squad-based games where it's completely open for like skills, so you have no idea what you're getting into, though?
I don't know.
I feel like all of them have at least some kind of archetypes or prototypes to start with.
See, I'm going to be totally honest with you. The 2 games, or potentially 3 games I could think of that I've never really played that are squad-based, Counter-Strike, Rainbow Six, and a Call of Duty. Now, I don't know if there's specific roles that you have in those. I'm not 100% sure. So,
because the ones I've played the most of, Team Fortress 2,
yeah,
and
you're the heavy,
Overwatch,
or you're the support, or
those are very much squad based.
Yeah. Oh God.
Or role based. Like, you
Yeah.
know exactly what you're facing. There's no
paladins. Your damage, your flank, your front line, your healer. Was there a 5th one? Frontline, flanker, healer, support. Yeah, I guess support. All right, Zealeus, last question. I know we're basically right up against the line, but screw it. We had a week off, so Zealeus is probably more rested than I am. Just kidding. So this is a very interesting question, and I don't know how I feel about this because I've actually experienced this. It's if you really get into a game, I mean, you really get into a game, the game is just blowing you away, but then a game crash happens in which there is no way around it. Can you still feel the awesomeness of that game, or does it completely die?
I mean, I think I could still enjoy the time, be like, oh, I put good hours into the game.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously that's going to always leave a sour and lasting memory on the game because it's going to be the last thing you remember about the game. So I might be like, yeah, it was a good game until this happened. Now, what I'm probably not going to do is, because there's some games where, let's just say we get this rage-inducing bug, you might be able to restart your game and know to avoid that bug.
Right.
But the chances are I'm not going to do that. I'm just, okay, well, you've already pissed me off enough, so I'm not going to replay it just to avoid that bug.
So, ironically, I ran into this exact issue with the game called Black Sad, which ironically is about a detective who's a cat. And it is definitely not cartoony or lovey-dovey. I mean, this is what do you call it? Full disclosure. If you read the graphic novel, you're going to see anthropomorphic sex. You're not going to see it during the game, but during the graphic novel, that's what you're going to see. But the game is very interesting. It's basically, they're like, you came in to investigate a murder or a suicide that might be a murder. And then, like, you open up this can of worms and all shit goes to hell, and you're investigating. I really got attached to certain characters, and it's one of those things that your decision changes how the storyline goes. But it's one of those games where you have a save and it's auto, and the bug hits between the one of the characters just died, and now you're loading into the next scene, and it crashes. So if you go back, you have to replay that scene, knowing full well the guy's going to die again. There's no way. It's scripted. But no matter what you do, no matter what choices you make, it's going to crash as soon as you go from that part to the next scene. So I'm pissed. I really liked it. It was a little bit frustrating from time to time, but I'm pissed because I don't feel like I'm going to be able to get the closure I'm looking for, because I wanted to see the final twist, the final, ending to the game.
That's frustrating. And that's unfortunately what I probably remember then about that game is not the story leading up to that. I'll look back 5 years from now, like, yeah, I remember when that game crashed to me. It sucked. Yep, that's unfortunate.
Shit. There's another question, but I'm going to hold off. until next week. But I do want to put it out there just so that Zealeus is on your mind, and if the viewers out there who are watching this live or are going to be watching the recording or listening to the audio version, which, of course, once again, you can see the recording on YouTube, youtube.com/AlteredConfusionLLC. And then, of course, the audio version is going to be on our Podbean channel, but also on the iTunes podcast channel. Or, of course, you can just go to www.alteredconfusion.com, and the audio link will be there as well. The question, which kind of the reason why I just remembered that this question was asked and I forgot to write it down was, what are your feelings talking about saved games, the ability to basically save whenever you want to, only be able to do the autosave, and then kind of like to go off of the autosave, games that only allow you to have a single playthrough at one time. If you decide to do a new game, you wipe out that previous save. So think about it. We'll get to it next week. I'll highlight it to make sure. I apologize that we didn't get to it, but think about it. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to take this itty bitty moment to thank everyone for tuning in to the Altered Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure giving you everything coming out of our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. We'll be back next week for another Thursday Night Hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.